On the 10th of September, the members of La Via Campesina unite around the world to commemorate the International Day of Action against the World Trade Organizations and the Free Trade Agreements. Together, we resist the unjust trade policies that threaten our food sovereignty, livelihood, and environment. Today, small-scale farmers lead an interesting discussion on the dangers of free market globalization and privatization.
I'm Nabwami Christine, a small-scale farmer from Mityana district, a member of ESAF Uganda. ESAF Uganda is a farmer-led advocacy movement working towards a just and resilient food system led by small-scale farmers. The World Trade Organization and the Free Trade Agreements are an outcome of a ministerial meeting that sat in Mexico. This meeting was meant to harmonize the trade negotiations, and World Trade Organization is basically meant to work on the trade negotiation between different nations and to solve disputes among nations. It's primarily helping to see that nations can do free trade agreements. On this day, the 10th of September, we commemorate the International Day of Action against World Trade Organization and the Free Trade Agreements. And on this very day, we remember a fellow Korean peasant, Lee Chung, who actually sacrificed his life to see that farmers are not suffocated. He even came out to show that the negotiations that were made out of the ministerial meetings were not working for a farmer. He made a statement that World Trade Organization kills farmers. And for this, we take on the initiative to see that we make free trade negotiations with the neighboring countries. As we commemorate his sacrifice, we join hands to fight the inequity in the trade agreements. Nations are still facing hunger crises, climate catastrophes, inflation, and migration. But our governments still take it as normal business as usual, not minding about the patriarchy and the xenophobia in the system. This is suffocating the farmers' efforts.
The dangers of free market, globalization, and privatization is really drastically affecting the small-scale farmers. One, we are finding out that there is disinvestment, and the small-scale farmers are really suffering because they can't even invest, they can't do anything because we have these big investors who have come in with a lot of money, so the small-scale farmers who are very poor cannot do anything at all. We also realize that free market, globalization, and then privatization is causing a lot of dismantling of resources. Example, when you go back to my district, that is Amuru, people are moving freely, they are cutting down our trees, they are making it for charcoal. At the end of the day, we are going to suffer a lot of climate change, which will make farming very, very difficult. And the worst thing is that it is leading people, both at rural and then at urban, to go without food. People are hungry. The cases of hunger is increasing day and night, which used not to be there. So to me, I think we really need to do away with this free market, globalization, and then privatization. It is causing a lot of problems to the small-scale farmers.
We as peasant farmers, we need public policies that will bring high transparency to both national and international trade. We want policies that will guarantee the sovereignty of our peasants, food sovereignty, and also those policies that will ensure that the prices for our produce are fair. Those are the policies we need. Having in mind that we as the peasant farmers, we are feeding 70% of the world population, and we go through a lot. We pay for our own costs for production to make sure that we feed the world. In economies or in countries that really want to bring hunger to zero or bring zero hunger, reduce on the malnutrition, they really need to give peasant farmers full access to production, the means of production, have full control over them. Because you can't talk of reducing hunger, sorting out malnutrition, yet the people who produce food don't have any access, or they have limited access to the means of production. They can't make it. So that's why we are demanding government really need policies that will safeguard us.
We need an alternative to the agreement on agriculture promoted by the World Trade Organization. The free market logic that has guided international trade across borders must be stopped and replaced with a new framework that respects solidarity, equity, social justice and food sovereignty.
This is more than a day of action. It's a global movement to defend the rights of small-scale farmers and protect the planet for the future generations.